All right, here's the deal. I'm walking the dog the other day, and I had a thought. What if artificial intelligence played fantasy football?
Unintelligible robotic language.
Obviously, folks have used ChatGPT and Perplexity to aid them in their decisions. That ain't this league. In this league, AI's making all the decisions.
Well, I guess I'm in charge now.
Who you play, who you sit, who you draft, what you offer in trade, what you accept and trade back. Every single decision that pertains to your fantasy football team is not going to be made by a human. It's going to be made by artificial intelligence. This is the perfect year, I think, for AI to play fantasy football because it's the first year in artificial intelligence history that we have so many models to choose from that could be competitive with this problem space.
Oh my God!
There's probably 20 models out there that would be decent at solving this particular problem. So the challenge that we have is building a fantasy league where each team has a different model making all the fantasy decisions.
Help computer.
There's just one problem. I had this idea the week before the season starts. So I need to find 9 other people that really know their shizzle about this whole world and bring them together in basically 3 days so that we can have our draft and be ready for the season start. I think I know the folks.
Twilio, Philadelphia.
Carter Bassa, engineer at IBM, the Pacific Northwest.
Greg Vargas, just outside of New York. I'm a vibe coding YouTuber at Greg Code.
Ricky Robinette, Google, the greatest borough of the greatest city in the world, Brooklyn, New York.
Mike Swift, Major League Hacking, New York City.
Dominic Kundal, OpenAI, San Francisco Bay Area.
Kevin Winnery from Minneapolis, and I work at Stanley's.
Hi, this is Brian. I work at Twilio, and I'm based in Austin, Texas.
So I know these cats for a long time. I've been working with them for over 10 years. And I know if we don't set some ground rules in place, this thing is going to be a disaster.
All of you are hackers, so I have the full expectation that you're going to cheat and cheat frequently.
That's fair.
So the first thing we need to come up with are some guardrails to keep these folks in check. Rule 1. Pick a model and you stick with that model for the rest of the season. If the model gets upgraded, you can upgrade if you choose, but as soon as you ask a question, you got to stick with that model for the rest of the week. Also, you can use reasoning and non-reasoning models in different agentic workflows. So if you have Gemini Flash and you have Gemini Pro and you want to use reasoning for one task, but you want something a little speedier for the next one, that's fine as long as they're sharing the same checkpoints.
Where are we drawing the line on what defines a model family? So for example, are we saying like the open source variants of the major labs are different families than the like flagship available models?
My sense is the checkpoints. So the base checkpoints upon which the models were based. GPT-oss, for example, has a different set of checkpoints than GPT-4 or GPT-5.
What if you have access to something that's not available to the public? Like, do we have rules around that?
Yeah, that's in a later rule. Nothing stealth, and nothing that's not generally available. So nothing pre-release, nothing that no one can use right here. And when I say stealth, that includes publishing stuff on OpenRouter. So if someone's publishing a stealth model under the name like Omicron or whatever the new COVID variant is, you can't use that either because presumably you're one of the only few people who know what that model actually is.
All the stuff around the model is fair game. If you want to fine tune it, if you want to add a LoRA, if you want to do reinforcement learning, if you want to add an MCP server or an agent or do tool calling, or if you want to add a RAG pipeline, all that stuff is fair game and every player can continue to develop over the course of the entire season. The model makes all the decisions for your fantasy team the entire season. The way that we're going to know that is at the end of each week, after you set your picks, you send your input and your output tokens to the email list for the rest of the crew to evaluate. That way we know everybody's acting on the up and up and that the inference source is making all the decisions.
What is your opinion on in terms of a human's editorial layer in front of the model? So for example, for something like trades, like if I just want to arbitrarily propose trades to other people's models, do they need to feed my input as an external request to the model, or can they like selectively decide to ignore it if the model is like giving out, garbage trades that don't make any sense or something like that?
I mean, this is an interesting human in the loop question that we have, but I think I would sort of suggest that we shouldn't be the ones noticing that we need a wide receiver. We're just like the dumb meat puppets that are doing the bidding of the model.
I plan to be a tool that the model could call. Yes.
Finally, if you're in a development cul-de-sac, if it's just not working out with your model, you can beg for mercy from the rest of the league. A grand jury will be convened of 3 random players, and they will decide your fate, if you can adopt another model, and what the punishment is going to be. All right, let's talk draft order. This league, we're going to have 2 drafts, one for the models and then one for the players. For the models, the way we determine the draft order is every player has to take this quiz. Highest score goes first, going all the way down to 10. After that, the order for the fantasy league itself is going to be set where the models score on humanity's last exam, which is what many people believe to be the hardest core benchmark in AI today.
Standings that we have are Swift, Ricky, Dom, Brent, Kevin, Carter, Greg, then Partridge, and then me. All right, Swift, you're up next. What are you going for, bud?
I'm going to have to go with the Gemma model family. I feel like that's the move here, given I don't have Qwen on the table. So I'm going to pick Gemma for my crew.
All right, Ricky, what do you think?
Rob, I'm going to have to follow Swift's wisdom and go with a Google model here and do Gemini 2.5.
Wow, Gemini 2.5 out of the gate. There we go. Dominic.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna go with my home turf. I'm gonna go with the GPT models.
GPT. Excellent pick. Excellent pick. Brent, you're up.
Yeah, cool. I'll be quick. I'm taking Mistral.
Oh wow. Brent goes Mistral. Mistral goes in the top 5. This is pretty. This is not the way I thought this was gonna go.
It's working locally. It's working locally. It's not what I would take, but the other one that I would pick is not working at the moment. So we're gonna go with what works and try to go from there.
Cash money, Kevin Winnery.
Oh man, well this was a hard choice, and I do love GPT and Anthropic models, obviously, but I hear that waifu are cracked at fantasy football, so I'm going to go with Grok from XAI.
Whoa, that is bold. That is very bold. What is the context window on Grok? Is it the only other one that's?
Grok 4 gets up to 256K.
256K, that's pretty big. So you and Ricky
broke.
are leading context window right now, right?
I think if Dom wanted to use GPT 4.1, that has a 1 million context, 1 million token context window as well.
Carter.
Not gonna lie, guys. Brent really sniped me on Mistral. I feel like the guy who's drafting Kenneth Walker because all the good running backs are off the board. I will. Oh man, can I phone a friend? Let's see.
Yeah, so you can totally phone a friend as long as you do it on camera.
I am going to do it on camera. Like, I'll be honest. I am not familiar with the remaining models. Does anyone have any strong feelings about whether I should choose new Hermes 4 or DeepSeek model?
I think Hermes 4 is based off of the
LLaMa.
LLaMa 3 line.
Yeah.
But it is open weight, and there is reasoning. I think it's really built for steerability. From what I read from news research, but I haven't used it.
All right, man. Well, we're gonna do it. Sign me up for the new family of models.
Greg.
I want to go with Claude.
Greg is going with Claude. Got to give all these Western labs a run for their money. I think I'm going DeepSeek, y'all. I think I'm going DeepSeek. The unfair competitive advantage in artificial intelligence of complete lack of respect for intellectual property law is going to carry me strong through the rest of this season. So I'm going DeepSeek.
Did we do the model assignments yet? I'm sorry, I dropped in late, obviously.
Brian, you were the last one to pick.
I'm the last one to pick a model? All right.
You are the last one to pick model. How are you feeling?
Not super. That doesn't sound great.
No, it's not great at all. But here's what's been picked so far.
Yeah.
Swift with Gemma, Ricky with Gemini, Dom with GPT, Brent with Mistral, Kevin with Grok, Carter with Hermes, Greg with Claude, and me with DeepSeek.
I can't name another model, so I'm interested to see what I'm left with.
Kimi K2 is still available. GLM is still available. gpt-oss is still available.
Minimax.
Mini
No LLaMa 4 for Giacomo? What? Like,
yeah, nobody has picked
yeah.
LLaMa yet.
Well, Dom, if you had your choice, I know you're biased. Would you pick the OSS 120 or would you go with?
I would pick
LLaMa?
OSS 120 because it's basically all for mini deep research. I was just saying that to Brent.
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I have to go with OSS.
Plus, if you run that through Open Router, you can crack it like 3,000 tokens a second. So like,
Your picks are going to be super fast.
All right, that's enough yakking. Let's get to the hacking and see what these folks built.
All right, so this is Claude Code powered draft. So I just have a slash command here that I worked with Claude to create. And it's based off some data I pulled from Fantasy Football Nerd. So I have just a directory here, and we got a bunch of data, and had basically talked with Claude, had it come up, try to distill the strategy down to a plan here. So hopefully, if we're doing a mock draft here, what would happen is I'll have Claude Code open here. When it gets time to be my turn, like it is here in the mock draft, I'll run, actually, if we look here, I have an MCP server. I have the Token Bowl MCP server running. So I should be able to run slash draft, and then it's going to slurp in the current state of the draft board from Sleeper, and then run through the whole response. Although I think it might be working off an old draft here, why the tokens are so big. And it should go through the thing, and then it should give me a pick, and then I will click the button for the pick. So a couple challenges in doing this was getting this to be finished within 2 minutes. That was certainly a challenge at times, and so I think this is running off an old mock draft here. But yeah, that's what we're working on, just going back and forth between Claude Code and the interface.
God damn it. Everybody's like way more prepared. Would you guys like to see what I built?
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Giddy up.
So I made an agent with a framework called Agno, which is definitely an all batteries included agentic framework. So I have agent storage, I have user memory, I'm adding history to my messages, and I did so with these keyword arguments and nothing else. So it's really easy to do. I did do a craft prompt for my system prompt, which is pretty exhaustive, and added an MCP server that I have running locally. But the most important bit is I deployed a RAG pipeline. I have a knowledge base built in. And you might ask, what is in that RAG pipeline? Well, it is...
Bill Belichick's autobiography?
It is not. It is Fantasy Football for Dummies from 2022.
Nice. That's awesome.
Nice.
I've actually made my model choose whatever Bill Belichick's girlfriend would pick for the upcoming. Yes. That's like the personality of my system prompt.
So are your output tokens this entire time going to be a new expensive handbag?
Yes, that's exactly right.
Who do you want? Who do you want?
They've been surprisingly manic. Lots of responses out of distribution.
Well, the nice thing about, if you haven't used Agno before, the nice thing about Agno is it ships with a playground that you can load in your browser. And it has all the streaming stuff. It gives you, shows you all the tool use. So you get kind of close to what you would see with a Frontier Labs web interface, but it's all running locally on your machine.
I mean, I'm European. I have close to zero experience here, so.
Which is great because you don't have to have any experience. It's all baked into the training data, so you just have to
Exactly. My overall strategy is to just have agent navigate the whole thing. So it's been just browsing. I logged into Sleeper and it's been browsing. So if we go back here, it's been analyzing things and figuring out my place in it. So my goal is that after the draft, I'm just gonna have it do this once a week and figure out if it wants to change anything. I might allow it to build tools for itself, but I'm not planning to be very
if you're feeling generous.
Yeah.
Wow. Well done.
All right. So this is my draft room.
What?
This is hooked up to. Now I'm gonna be perfect. I'm gonna be perfectly honest right now. Greg, be proud. This was entirely built with Claude Code, entirely.
You have working buttons and stuff.
I do have working buttons. So I'll tell you what. So I don't have it manually. So polling sleeper sucked. I had that working, but it was delayed enough that it made it very difficult to work with. So I have it in manual mode right now. It is set up with Mistral 7B. This is mid-draft in the second round, pick 20 of a mock draft. As somebody else picked, once it's my turn, I can hit refresh draft. It'll refresh everything. And then the get suggestion button goes off. It's going to give the top 10 players in each position. I think minus kickers and defense in the first 13 rounds. I don't consider them an option. But it's passing in their rank and a stat called VORP, and giving a prompt that gives lots of instructions about what to do in different rounds of the draft, how to fill the roster out and that sort of thing. And it pops up a recommended pick, level of confidence for it, how it chose it. Fingers crossed, but yeah, this has been working well, and it is working with Mistral. I had it working with OpenAI and Claude. It works with Mistral, works with LLaMa. If I had gotten DeepSeek to work, that would have been gold. And I didn't have gpt-oss either. I would have considered that, but it is working with Mistral right now, and pops up 3 alternatives. That's the build.
That looks amazing,
man.
And listen, it may break. Who knows? But
well, biscuits. That's discouraging.
Well, like I said, we don't know if it worked.
We don't know if it'll work. We're gonna get wrecked. Okay. Who else would like to show something off?
All right. I took maybe the opposite approach of Brent. Brent built something very sophisticated. I went for something much less sophisticated, which is I just connected a Chrome extension to Sleeper directly. So it basically crawls the website of the draft, passes in the top players and what's been picked. I can hit this get recommendation. And then I have it just give me one player, because if it gives me more, I'm going to make my own choice. So my main goal of this, assuming it works in front of us live here, is to not use a chat interface at all. So Jameer Gibbs here, and then it gives a little pithy reason why to get him. My code is live on GitHub too, if you want to look at the prompts and everything as well.
There's no chance that you're going to you can even fudge the selection. You're just a passenger.
I am just a passenger on this one. Yeah.
You inspired me, Ricky. I tried an extension too. It works. I just liked having more info.
Yours is very impressive, Brent. I'm I'll tell you the truth is I started trying to do it like you, and then it was taking too much time, and I was like, maybe I can just get a Chrome extension quicker. So you did what I wanted.
Claude did. There's no way I could have built that in that amount of time.
All right, we've got our managers, we've got our models, and we've hacked together something that should be able to get us through the draft. Next, we need to establish the draft order. To do that, we're going to take a look at humanity's last exam. We have sorted all the models in ascending order of their score on this infamous benchmark. This is going to level the playing field. So even if you don't have one of the top frontier models, you're still going to be competitive because you get to pick before all of them, giving you a higher number of quality players with which to build your roster. All right, so now that we have all of that out of the way, we're finally ready to draft, and it happened.
Why am I getting only players that don't exist?
I think we just had our first obviously bad choice.
Still researching. I should have told it to go quick. It's still a thing. Oh no!
And it just auto-picked a suspended player.
Did it actually?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Find out how those models did. You'll have to check in with us next time. Until then, enjoy yourself. It's later than you think.
Robotic language. Robotic language. Robotic language.